Hello. PKF Prague Philharmonia has an impressive track record for its exciting, innovative, and coherent season. Each year, it is a pleasure to prepare these concerts for our beloved patrons. I have always been fond of dramaturgies that have recognizable and recurring themes, where each concert experience is enriched by the previous one and the various evenings resonate with each other. Due to the cancellations and necessary rescheduling associated with the pandemic, the task was especially tricky this time, but we believe we were able to find a beautiful solution. I don't find it interesting to typecast artists' talents through the prism of their nationality. And a good musician should be at ease in various schools and in all type of styles. Still, I must confess I have a personal affinity with French music, and it is always a treat for myself and for my friends, the musicians of Prague Philharmonia, to work together on the French repertoire. From January 22 to June 22, France will take the rotating presidency of the European Union. This was the perfect occasion to create a main 21-22 fil rouge around French music. In February 1932, Maurice Ravel performed in Prague. With Marguerite Long at the piano, he conducted his Concerto in G, which he had just premiered in Paris the previous months. In our A5 concerts, February 2022, to celebrate the French presidency of the Union in coordination with the Embassy of France to the Czech Republic and the French Institute in Prague, we will perform the same concerto. French pianist Michel d'Alberto will be the soloist in a concert that will also feature Ravel's famous Bolero and the Toccata e due canzoni by Martinu, the immense Czech composer who lived for many years in Paris. The European dimension of French music will also be celebrated through an exploration of its constant cross-pollination with German music. Our A9 concerts, for example, illustrates the interplay between the French and Germanic schools over the centuries. Debussy was influenced by Richard Wagner. Wagner owes so much to Berlioz, in fact, much more than he says. And Berlioz himself was influenced by Gluck, who was greatly inspired by French Rameau, and Rameau was an admirer of both Bach and Couperin. And Bach and Couperin both interacted. For this concert, the fascinating and very fruitful interplay between the two nations is presented in reverse chronological order, ending with Bach, gloriously reinterpreted here by a 20th century musician, Stokowski, and in the same way Thomas Hadès, contemporary composer, revisited Couperin in an enlightening reorchestration of some of harpsichord pieces. Similarly, for our A2 concerts, Harry Bickett will present Stravinsky's Vision of Bach, 4 preludes and fugues from the Well-Tempered Clavier, and will offer his own orchestration of Mozart's Fantasia in F minor, F major, originally written for mechanical clock. I will have the privilege to open the season with Incanto, a work of contemporary French composer Eric Tanguy, along with the visionary and almost graphic Scène d'amour, love scene, from Berlioz' Roméo et Juliette, a direct inspiration for Richard Wagner's Tristan und Isolde. The concert will also feature Saint-Saëns' seldom performed but delightful Second Symphony, and pianist Andrew van Ooyen will return to perform Rachmaninoff's adored Second Piano Concerto, a work also infused with love while depicting and incarnating properly the victory of the composer over his own darkness and depression. Martinu wrote his third piano concerto in the US, but still that concerto bears both the influences of his French years and has a Brahmsian and German touch that is very recognizable. The work will be played by Finnish pianist Olli Mustonen and conducted by Brazilian-born conductor Marcelo Leninger for our A3 concert in a program which will conclude with Beethoven's Eroica Symphony. We were really glad to be able to rescue this program from the cancelled 2021 season, and in the end it does resonate well with the current 21-22 season. I think we can say the same about our reprogrammed Mozart Schubert concert A4 that was planned with Julian Rashlin and Sarah Mac El Ravi, and they will come to this season, and it will feature Schubert Unfinished Symphony, Mozart Sinfonia Concertante, and his final and triumphal symphony, the Jupiter Symphony. French cellist Marc Coppet, conductor Caroline Wilson will play Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto No. 1, as well as Strauss Romanze, in an evening that will conclude with Tchaikovsky Fourth Symphony. French music is again the center of A7 concert with works of Gounod, Saint-Saëns, Roussel, and Poulenc, and with the legendary flutist Emmanuel Villaume, principal of the Berlin Philharmonic, and really a Prague favorite. Another principal of this prestigious German orchestra is Andreas Ottensamer. He will play for us Mozart Clarinet Concerto. It will be coupled with the delightful Strauss Serenade and the impetuous and refreshing Second Symphony of Charles Gounod. A few words also about PKF Lobkowitz season 21. The fifth edition of the Lobkowitz series, Meetings with Stories from the Arts, will this year again fulfill its various missions, welcoming some of the most renowned artists, presenting original concert dramaturgies, and pairing these with insightful lectures on relevant topics connected to each specific concert and program. Due to the ongoing pandemic, we had to move the opening concert of this year's season from the originally planned 19th of April to the 24th of June, where we will finally hear the fabulous young Slovak bass baritone Peter Kellner, with whom I just worked in Covent Garden. And we are very much looking forward to his rendition of Dvorak's biblical songs. For the second part of the concert, Jan Fischer will lead the orchestra in a performance of another jewel of church music, the Symphony in D major by Jan Vaclav Jugovoricek. As is by now tradition, I will myself conduct one concert in the series. Joining me as a soloist in Mozart's Strasbourg Violin Concerto is Jan Fischer, our concertmaster, and the artistic leader of many of our Lobkowitz evenings. The second focal point of this concert will be Antonin Vranitzky's Symphony in C major, Aphrodite. Namely, Vranitzky was a court chef de musique of Joseph Franz Maximilian of Lobkowitz, and this enchanting symphony was written as a wedding gift for Prince of Lobkowitz and Maria Carolina of Schwarzenberg. We are excited to announce the return of Stefan Dohr as the soloist and artistic leader of the third concert in our 21 Lobkowitz series. He is the principal organist of the Berlin Philharmoniker, and he has been proclaimed the king of his instrument by the New York Chronicle. He is considered as one of the most prolific artists of his generation. The evening will include works by Joseph Suk, Mozart, and Leos Janáček. The pandemic had unfortunately severely impacted much of 2020, and one of the results was the cancellation of our November concerts. We are delighted, though, to have been able to move it with the same program to November 3, 2021, with one of the biggest rising stars of classical music, Korean violinist Bomsori Kim. Bomsori had just recently signed an exclusive contract with Deutsche Grammophon. We will hear her play the rarely heard Mendelssohn Concerto for violin and orchestra in D minor, as well as the well-known Concerto for two violins in D minor by Bach, joined here by our own Jan Fischer. To present these programs in both series, we offer a very exceptional lineup of conductors and soloists who regularly appear on the most important concert halls of the world. They come to us because they simply love our orchestra and because they love this audience. We are especially excited to do this under a theme that celebrates friendship and exchanges between nations and culture. The times have been excruciatingly challenging for all of us. Now, nourishing our souls is as essential as protecting our health, and we are so proud and grateful that we can contribute to the cultural and spiritual life of this exceptional community. We warmly thank our patrons, friends, and generous sponsors for their support. They are a true inspiration for us all. Thank you very much. Enjoy.